All right. Part 2, yeah. So he gave us some tea. At least he didn't give us Riqueda's famous vodka. That's I'm sure some of you are aware of that. That was trending on Twitter. Nick Riqueda. I've never really been a big fan of him. I'm sorry, I don't get into the whole Lawtube thing. I mean, I don't understand the point of it unless you're like a lawyer yourself. But dude, like, he was raking in like a lot of money. But like, I guess his thing was he'd get drunk and he'd talk about law, and I know there's like certain streamers out there who are popular for getting trashed and like doing drugs and doing stupid shit like that. And that just like, you know, if you're one of those YouTubers, like, and you have a platform for that, like, that's always like, I think like 9 out of 10 times that's gonna turn into something bad. But I don't see the appeal to it, to watching some guy get drunk and talk about like lawyer shit. I just don't understand it. Like, it's just I don't know. The internet is just gotten so weird and political, you know. But the guy like completely like threw his fucking life away. And yeah, he got arrested for having like 25 grams of cocaine or amphetamine or something like that, and he's facing some serious time. I mean, I watched the few like last videos of him in the last 2 weeks or so, and like he can't even like string along a coherent sentence. Yeah, I guess it was his pastor who called the police on him for a wellness check because he's got kids and shit. And it's just like watching him on camera sitting there like talking like that, saying the most incoherent things that I've ever heard in my entire life. Like I was mentioning later, I know a lot of crackheads that are residents of St. Petersburg. Either they come into your job and you have to work with them, or they come into your job, they're off the streets, or you just bump into them because you're walking around somewhere. They've made more sense to me than he ever did within the time frame of those last 2 videos. I like, no one knows what he's talking about because he's so trashed, and I guess he's probably like juiced up on coke too. And I mean, I've done cocaine. It's like everyone's done cocaine, so like it makes you talk a lot, and I think that's probably why he kept going on and like changing the subject every 5 fucking seconds, because that's what he was doing, is he was talking and changing the subject every 5 seconds, and he was drunk, so he was really drunk and he was really coked up. So that's why he didn't make any sense, because he didn't realize, or he just like, I guess when you're that coked up, you say like 2 or 3 words and you're already bored of what you're saying, and you thought of something new and exciting to say, so you change the subject like that. So that's what he does in the video. He says something, says about, you know, maybe 10, 15 words, changes the subject, changes the subject, changes the subject, changes the subject. He's, you know, it's just like a new idea popped in my head, I gotta change the subject, so he changes the subject. That's what coke does to you. I mean, I haven't done it in over like 20 years or something like that, but that's what it does to you. And like, so he was definitely coked out of his, I think he's probably more drunk than anything, but he was also really coked up. But I think his biggest problem was drinking, and the cocaine just like intensified it. I think drinking's like the worst fucking thing. I think it's but you know, like it's just like I can't tell people to pick or choose their poisons. I really can't. Because I've seen so many fucking lives destroyed by that shit. You know, it's and crack addictions and meth addictions and things like that. So many fucking lives just like people can't maintain themselves. They just can't. And like Nick Riqueda, like his big downfall is alcohol. I'll say that more than anything. His downfall is alcohol. It's alcohol related. There's people out there who get the fucking shakes and shit because they've been drinking for so long, they've become so used to it that their body's dependent on it. And so if they don't get it, they can have seizures and fucking literally die. And that's a lot of people. A lot of people get that far down the road into their sort of pits of alcoholism. The thing is, it's so normalized because we sell alcohol in liquor stores, at gas stations, grocery stores. So it's not treated as of bad of a thing as it is, you know. Like alcohol has like this worldwide symbolism to it. It's like everyone drinks. Every country drinks. Every nation fucking drinks. We're just so fucking used to it. But I think here in America, we drink more than like a lot of other nations. I don't think we're the most alcoholic nation, but I think we're the most dysfunctional nation. Being that we're so dysfunctional, when people do become alcoholics, they become the worst alcoholics. Whereas other countries, they just have a larger number of alcoholics, but those alcoholics aren't like our alcoholics where they do Nick Rekieta shit. You know, drink all night, do real cocaine, and then get in their car and drive around for hours. Like, dude, you're fucking retarded. You are fucking retarded, dude. But I mean, I can't say he's that retarded because he made like a lot of money off it, I guess. But it caught up with him, and that's where he's retarded. You're retarded, dude. It caught up with you. It totally caught up with you. You have fucking kids, okay? And this thing was like the side piece. They had this side piece there. Dude. Now she's getting a divorce. Dude. He's looking at 26 years. More than likely he won't get that. Still, man. Like, oh, dude, like his career. Like, if he doesn't go to jail or prison or whatever, his career is either going to tank, or he's going to become a lol cow, or he's gonna have a turnaround moment. And the turnaround moment, I'm really skeptical towards that one because the whole reason. So this is why I'm saying I'm skeptical towards the turnaround that Nick Rekieta might have. In order to have a turnaround, he has to cut the drugs and alcohol out of his life completely. However, the basis for his show was that he would get drunk and talk about law. So where does his career go from then? He just lost all of his fans. All the people who sat down and watched his show and listened to him talk about law, they're probably getting drunk too. So who's gonna watch him now? I mean, who do you sell yourself for the most? Alcoholics. So if he turns his life around, do you think alcoholics are gonna watch him sober? No, they're not. So that's kind of where I'm like, where I think his online career is kind of over, honestly. Like he might be able to string together a much smaller fan base and become a normal Lawtuber, whatever they call them. A normal one, and he can probably build a moderate base of fans, you know, to people do like the fallen hero sort of return, kind of like redemption arc and everything. They do like that, but I think he's gonna lose a huge portion of his fans if he does do that, if he makes that turnaround and does the whole redemption arc thing and completely cuts alcohol and drugs out of his life. He's going to lose a lot of fans because that was the whole point to watching him, was watching him get trashed and talk about law. So he has that, and two, being that he did that shtick for so long, I think it's going to be extremely hard, or maybe even impossible, for him to just go to a regular platform where he's not drunk talking about law, you know. He might not find it as fulfilling. Maybe he'll find it more fulfilling. I don't know. Do I see much of a future in the online world with Nick Rekieta? I don't know. I've never got into that Lawtuber shit, dude. Never got into that. It just seems boring fucking drivel to me. I mean, it's the only thing that made it appealing to people was he was getting trashed. And I'm sure like a lot of people who weren't really into law just tuned in to watch this guy get fucking trashed, you know? They didn't care what he said about the fucking legal system. They just wanted to watch him get fucking wasted. And he did. They wanted to watch him throw his fucking life away, and he did. That's like probably why like fucking, I would say like 50%, at least half of fucking the population of the internet watched this show, was just to watch him and throw it all away. Everyone loves a good lol cow. Everyone loves a good lol cow. I mean, me, myself, if I became a lol cow, I would at least, I think I would embrace it. So if Nick Rekieta becomes a lol cow, embrace it, but you know, don't drink it away. Don't drink it away. Like, I mean, there's never like the only good example of a lol cow was the same one I mentioned earlier in this video, is Gothic King Cobra. Like, he's the only like decent lol cow that has ever existed out there. All the other lol cows have been either extremely toxic, arrogant, destroying the lives of people around them. I mean, look at Daniel Larson for starters. Look at Chris Chan. I think Dragon Lord isn't so bad, but I mean, he destroyed the lives of his entire village. So then again, yes. And who's that one? Eat That Pussy 95, like the weird pedo guy. Oh my god. EDP. Yeah. Most of these lol cows, in fact, all of them are these toxic, gross fucking people who do terrible fucking things, and it'd just be better if they just got out of the lives of the people around them. The only one who's not like that is Gothic King Cobra. That's the only one I can think of where it's just like, he's just funny to watch. You know, he does stupid things, he makes poor lifestyle choices, but like, you know, like another thing is like, he had, I give him credit for this because lol cows never achieved this one. He maintained a job. He moved out of his dad's basement, and he had multiple girlfriends. I mean, he was just a weird, goofy, funny looking guy that with Asperger's and made a lot of stupid choices, but like, that speaks for more than any of the other fucking lol cows out there. I mean, if we're talking about the lol cows like Daniel Larson and Chris Chan and shit like that, the ones who bang their moms and live with their moms, I mean, you gotta give credit owed where credit due, obviously. So like, no, like Nick Rekieta would become more of this scandalous type of lol cow, where it's like there's kids involved with this, so it's not really funny at the end of the day. You know, him becoming a lol cow is not funny. They'll take his fucking kids away. You know, they'll take his fucking kids away. I don't know if he's gonna be able to hold on to his kids. They'll probably fucking end up taking his kids away anyways. I mean, they've brought another woman into a relationship who's getting divorced from her husband, probably exclusively because of this shit. And you've got guns and ammunition involved with it, which is a bad combination for drugs and alcohol. If you're a gun owner and you don't drink, fine. If you're a gun owner and you do drink, okay. If you're a gun owner and you do rails of cocaine every night and you do drink and there's kids around you, we might have to take those guns away. That's what I'm saying. We might have to take those guns away. You're doing too many rails of cocaine off the rail of your fucking 12 gauge with your fucking children across the room. You know, I can see dumbasses like him doing that. You know, busting out, chopping up a line across the barrel of his fucking 12 gauge shotgun. You know, and little Jimmy's over there just, you know. People are stupid. They do that shit. They seriously do that shit. If you haven't noticed, you know, if they're willing to sniff cocaine off the tits of hookers, same with women sniffing cocaine off a dude's cock, what makes you think they wouldn't put it on a gun and sniff it off a gun? They do. They do. Yeah, he's probably gonna lose his fucking kids. Fuck. Okay. Enough of that. Okay, I'm in my room now. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna make the call. Give me a second. Okay, it's done. I heard a bunch of hustling upstairs, so I think it worked. Go see if you can get into 403 now. Yes, Gizmo. I see you made yourself at home already, Gizmo. Must be nice.